Hi, welcome to High Road. My name's Andrew, and in this video I'm going to be fixing a really bad crack in this guitar neck. So this guitar actually belongs to one of my students, a young kid in grade 3, and he opened up his guitar case this morning for his lesson, and we noticed that it had a huge crack on the heel portion of the guitar neck. He didn't drop the guitar, we know that. He didn't knock it on like walking through a doorway or anything. We think that maybe when the guitar was being transported to school in its soft case, a bunch of heavy bags, maybe a scooter, maybe a few things that were piled on top of this guitar, and it was crushed in a way that caused the guitar to essentially become weak in the middle, and it just snapped. Currently, the only thing holding this guitar together is the fingerboard, and it's bending right now. I can see it. So let me take you into a close-up and you can see what I'm talking about. See how the fingerboard is bent at an angle there, right at the 12th fret where the neck meets the body. That's the only bit holding this neck together. You can see that the crack goes all the way around the neck heel and over to the other side. So it's not economical to take this to a guitar repairer and have them do the repair, because it's going to cost more than the guitar. You may as well just throw it out and buy a new one. So this is what you call a nothing left to lose sort of a repair. I may as well give this a try. It's a fairly straightforward repair, and it's got a fairly high chance of success. So let's get started. Now at the moment I've left the strings on and I've left them up to tension, and you can see the action is way high. I can fit the whole finger through there. So the reason I've left the strings on is because I'm actually using them to hold the crack open for me, so that when I go to put glue in here, it'll have a chance of seeping down. I'm not really going to get full penetration of glue. That's going to be very hard to do without fully opening up the crack and risking more damage. Basically the crack is as open as it's going to be, and I've got to try and get some glue down there however I can and clamp it. The glue I'm going to use is standard Titebond wood glue. When this dries, it should be stronger than the wood. And luckily this has a wedge-shaped nozzle, so I should be able to get the glue down into that crack at least to some degree, and hopefully it'll just drizzle down. Okay, that glue is already soaking down into the crack. That's good. The other thing that will help the glue spread around is when I clamp this, it's going to squeeze out in all directions. That'll help fill that void. Looks good. Alright, let's unclamp it and see if it's worked. Yeah, that feels very solid. There's no creaking or flexing of any kind. That's a really solid little repair. The glue's taken well. Around that crack joint, as I showed you before, it does seem a little rough, and you can feel like the crack area has a rough edge to it. Smooth that out with a bit of sandpaper and it'll be okay. So you can see there from sanding that smooth, the edges of that crack, it feels really good now, but it's left this kind of cloudy mark where the sanding took place. Now, it'd be nice if I could do something to kind of clear that up. So I'm going to tape off parts of the guitar around this neck heel, and I'm going to see if I can spray some high gloss poly onto this area to try and blend it back in and make it look a little less conspicuous. But in the end, this is really not a cosmetic repair. The owner just wants their child to be able to play it, and that's what I want too. And it can already play. I just want to make it look a little bit nicer. I'm going to spray over the top of this with a little bit of high gloss polyurethane and hope for the best. That should do it. The crack will never be invisible unless we really sanded it back and got it back to the bare wood and filled all that in, but this at least is just going to cover up some of the scuff marks from where I was sanding it smooth, and that's about all we can hope for. I'm not going to try and wipe any of the overspray off because that would probably create a smear or a line. I'm just going to allow that to dry, and it's probably going to blend in because it was kind of on the feathered edges of the spray, and that should be fine. So I guess we'll come back to this in a few hours and we'll know how it's going to look. Well, there you go. There's the final result. Certainly not a perfect repair, not even a pretty repair, but it's a good repair because this guitar, which was basically firewood 2 days ago, is going to be back in the hands of my little grade 3 guitar student, and he's going to be able to start playing again. Doesn't need to buy a new guitar, doesn't need to wait a couple of weeks for mum and dad to take him out to a shop and find a new one. He can just keep going, pick up right back where he left off. He's probably not even going to notice the difference because he doesn't play up in the high frets yet. As always, if you want to learn how to make music, record music, and build musical stuff, or maybe even do the occasional repair, start now by subscribing below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.